Good morning, everyone. Sean here. Welcome to the channel and today's episode. As you can see, I'm not at the lot today. I'm actually in the driveway of our rental that we have for the winter months as we begin the build of the house. Today's episode is going to be a really brief episode, but I thought one that I wanted to teach something, or at least show you something. When I was buying both my trailer and my Kubota, I was trying to figure out what trailer to buy to match the Kubota, what I could get the most use out of. And I, as I said in this video, I'll link it up here when I talk about the dump trailer, the biggest thing for me was getting the most bang for my buck. I wanted a trailer that I could haul aggregate, topsoils, gravels, whatever, garbage, haul wood with. But I also wanted a trailer that I could put my Kubota B2601 on. And I had searched out a lot of YouTube videos, and I'm sure as you guys do, I do a lot of research and I look online for stuff, and I really couldn't find anything. So today's episode is just going to be a demonstration on how I put my Kubota on the 6x12 dump trailer, and kind of the ins and outs of how I do it, and show you that it does actually work and it does actually fit with some exceptions. So we're going to get to that, and before we do that, just a quick update about the lot. The surveyors actually have been out. They were out about 2 weeks ago and finally finished staking out the septic system and the setbacks. We're just waiting on our letter that the township requires our development to have, that says that the surveyors basically have done their due diligence and that everything has been staked out in accordance with the setbacks and the requirements. So we're waiting on that letter. We were hoping that it was going to be ready, over a week ago, to get submitted so that the final package could go to the township, but we haven't received it yet from the surveyor, so we're still waiting on that. And probably the other piece of advice, information to share is that if you remember in the one video I was talking about the seat switch and it starting to fail on the Kubota, and sure enough, it's done it again. So yesterday I had the tractor here, and it wouldn't move. So that seat switch is acting up. I've done everything with it. So this morning, before we get loading, we're just basically waiting on Hartington Equipment to run out and change out that seat switch for me, and then we'll get going. So stick around, and as I always say, let's see what we get into. All right there, guys, as we're waiting for Hartington's, I just wanted to do just a quick brief walk around about how I prep the trailer when I'm loading the tractor. So the first thing I do, I don't know if you can see it from there, is there's some wear marks here. It's because I have to back the Kubota onto the trailer, turn the backhoe to the side, and the first 2 times I did it, I was getting a few wear marks there sometimes because I got it too close. So what I did to mitigate that, just because I believe in trying to keep your equipment as good as possible. Obviously, a dump trailer is going to get scratched up, marked up, but it's also about the wear and tear on the Kubota. Is I just cut a piece of cow mat, and I just basically take that and stand it up in this corner as I load the Kubota on there. So that's one of the things I do. The other thing to point out, there's 6 tie-down, D-ring tie-downs in this trailer, 3 on each side. So obviously, vitally important when loading a trailer, a piece of equipment on a trailer like this, is to, I'm just turning my back so you don't get too much wind noise, is to tie them down properly. So I've got lots of ratchet straps that I've purchased. I'll show you how I do it. It's probably about the 5th different design of how I tie things down on this trailer. If you have any better ideas, please add them to the comments below. It's something I'm trying to come up with the best and most effective way of strapping that tractor down. You definitely need to do that, because anytime you're hauling anything in a trailer that's this heavy and a piece of equipment like that, you want to make sure that load is securely tied down. So I've got the ramps in place. As I indicated before, those ramps, great ramps, but they're very heavy, and mounting them on the side of the side of the trailer has been a bit of a cumbersome thing for me, because they are so heavy and it hurts my back getting them on and off the trailer. So I'm going to probably have to do something with that in the future. Actually, In the dump trailer video that I put out a few episodes ago, I'll link the card up here. One of the comments I got from a viewer, which was a fantastic idea, was building a dirt ramp, basically a homemade loading ramp, if you will, at the lot, so that I don't have to worry about always using the ramps when I'm loading this. I always also use this trailer to haul my side-by-side, the Honda Pioneer on it, everything. So I thought that was a fantastic idea. So in the future, you're probably going to see me design and build a bit of a dirt ramp somewhere on the lot so that I have an easier way of loading and unloading things. But so I'm just going to do what I always do when I am doing any sort of haul with this trailer. I suggest you always do a circle check beforehand, checking tire pressures, making sure that they're fully inflated, making sure that the chains, the lights, all that stuff are in working order. So I'm going to just do that now. I'm going to do a bit of a walk around, double check all that stuff, and then we'll get loading that tractor. All right, guys, so we're finally ready to load the Kubota on the dump trailer. So a couple other things I just wanted to mention quick. Anytime you're trying to back something like this in, really good idea, keep the loader bucket as low to the ground as possible. Just, so you're not causing any sort of tipping hazard or increasing the tipping hazard. Obviously, getting it into position, making sure your ramps are in line with the tires of the tractor. And the one thing I did want to point out about these ramps, the other thing outside of the fact that they're incredibly heavy, is the fact that the bottom of them is cut on a bias. It probably seemed like a great idea at the time when they created the ramps, and if you were on perfectly level ground with a perfectly hard packed surface, that beveled surface would sit nice and flat probably, but it doesn't in reality. They actually have the edge of the ramp is actually lifted off the ground. So as I back this in, you will see once the weight gets on the tips of those ramps are going to lift up out of the trailer. And then as I back up farther, the weight's going to cause them to slam back down. And I have to pause and wait and make sure that they've actually gone back into the channel that's on the back of the trailer to make sure that they're in the right position. So that is something I'm going to have to do something about. They would be better if they were just cut normally, just like a straight cut at the end of the ramp. However, they're not, so I'm going to have to probably drill and put a pin in at the end of both ramps to make sure that this doesn't happen, because this just becomes a bit of a safety hazard. So that is something I've got to get to, and you'll see why it doesn't really work properly at this point in time anyway. So I'm going to jump on the tractor here and get to backing it in. All right, guys, so I've got that loader bucket rested on the rear tailgate. I've got it in the up tilt position. Now that I'm sure that it's not going to come crashing down on my head, I then go ahead and finish pinning and securing that rear gate. And then we are now at least in the trailer and in position. So I leave it slightly to this side so that I'm able to actually ratchet strap everything down securely and have room to be able to do that. I try as best I can to distribute the weight as evenly as possible. You may have noticed, and I haven't watched the footage yet, but as I back in, there is a bit of a lift to that front of the trailer, so you want to try to evenly distribute the weight of the tractor as best you can inside that inside the trailer. So just makes for a more safe and secure and easier towing experience when you're on the road. All right, and now that you have the tractor in here and everything is kind of ready to be secured, I now take my ratchet straps and secure the load inside the trailer. I use 3 different straps. I use one at the rear, which and I'll try and get a bit of a video footage of this for you as well, but I try to keep the strap actually inside the tread of the tire, which helps pull the tractor down and to the rear so that it's not sliding forward and running into the wall. And then I pass the front strap through the loader arm and secure it to those D-rings as well to kind of hold it tight in place. Again, if you have any better ideas, I am definitely open to suggestions if you want to add them in the comments below. It's just the system that I've found that works the best and the easiest, at least at this point in time. All right, so as you can see, the front of the tractor, I pass the ratchet strap literally right through this opening in the loader arm. Secure it down to that D-ring. Same thing on the other side. And then on this side, at the back, I use the treads on the tire to hold it in. I ratchet strap it to the D-ring, and as I tighten it, literally pulls the tractor forward and down to secure it. Then the last thing that I do, which probably is really not needed, but because these loader implements have those quick attachments on them, I always just take a ratchet strap, pass it around and through, and secure it to the actual loader arms, just in case there's ever a problem. Okay guys, so there it is. As you can see, it actually does fit. We do leave the loader bucket hanging over the back, so I usually take a red flag and just stick it on that loader bucket, just, you know, again, just for added security and safety and to try and keep out of any trouble. Keep in mind, I don't trailer this very often, right? It usually stays on the property and does stuff, but I was actually going to help a friend with a job, needed something done, so I loaded it. But just to demonstrate that you can actually put a Kubota B2601 with a loader and a backhoe on a 6x12 dump trailer, and it works quite well. So if you have any questions, comments, suggestions on how I could do it better or safer or any of that sort of stuff, just add them in the comments below. And if not, thanks for watching the channel. Please hit the like button if you can, if you think you've learned anything or if you had any value out of this. Subscribe, share the videos with your friends, and I will see you on the next video. We are actually, hopefully in the next few videos, we've got some more clearing of the lot, the septic that's going to be done. I'm going to do a comparison, a chainsaw comparison between the Husqvarna XP550 Mark II and the Stihl MS291. We're going to do a head-to-head contest and comparison with those. We're going to also add a 6-inch trenching bucket that I've got for the Kubota for trenching in water lines, more hydro lines, etc. So all that stuff's coming up in the next couple weeks, and thanks for watching. Have a great day.